Man, am I a popular boy today? Ooh, I must have done something real good. What's up, IP infringement virgin gang? Hope you're doing well. I'm doing pretty good. Today's boo-boo card today is going to be known as the Victini V, the actual full art. It's a nice card. I like the rainbow rare version of it too, the actual VMAX. I don't think these cards were bad. Beautiful colors. Victini's an awesome Pokemon, one of the best mythical Pokemon that there was. Personally, I think so anyway. If there's other people disagree, that's on you. Man, a lot has unfolded the last day or so, like especially within the last like 12 hours. I was actually asleep. I work night shift for anybody that doesn't know. And dude, woke up and just it was like Armageddon. It was like fucking basically just the Hunger Games, just watching my friends getting picked off, or my peers just getting picked off like arrows, just fucking one after another on Instagram, where people are just dropping. If you don't know what's going on, I did a video about this a couple days. There was kind of like a thing going around for a second, and I made a video talking about it purely to get the information out there, where there was possible that on Instagram, maybe other meta platforms, that anyone who had Pokemon or Pokey or something like that in their name, Nintendo or IG or someone who was infringing that, was basically cracking down on people having that in their name and possibly getting their accounts suspended or permanently deleted in some cases. And it's progressed. We've actually had quite a few more people have that happen to them. We had it happen to a couple noteworthy people, Pokey Dean, Pokey Radar, and as of now, Radar has had his actual account not just suspended, but apparently permanently deleted as of now, which I imagine there's probably ways to get that back if he talks to the right people, all that good stuff. And then, biggest of all, PokeRev, which he actually put out a video. I watched the whole thing. I recommend you go do that stuff. He actually has the experience for that. I'll kind of cover it or briefly shorten it up a little bit, abbreviate it. Essentially, he got the same thing that happened to them. He had an option to appeal it because it was suspended. He hit the appeal button. He entered a couple basic information factors about him, and he got his account reinstated almost immediately. While it appears that everybody else who's been trying to do that, once they hit the fucking appeal button, Instagram's just like, well, I see you basically appealed yourself, but here's my dick. It's going in your mouth, and then it's going in your asshole. So that's what's happening. That no fucking account for you is what seems to be happening there. And that's awful. That's fucking awful. And there's a lot of different people that are talking about why this is possibly happening. Maybe it's Nintendo themselves. Maybe it's Meta. Maybe it's a bot. Maybe it's this. Maybe it's that. All that's up for debate. Anybody can talk about this stuff. But one thing that cannot be disputed is this is definitely targeting people with Pokemon or Pokey with an eye on it. And it's targeting some of those people with their actual accounts. Obviously, it's not hitting everybody, but it does appear to be hitting very select groups of people, like some of our bigger content creators or some of our biggest offenders. It's also going to happen when Nintendo was like going hard in the paint over their other properties as well, such as Smash Bros, people using OSTs. I remember back when like streaming Nintendo games, when the Switch kind of came out, like about a year or two after that, people were having a rough time streaming certain like games, such as like I think Odyssey was one of them. Breath of the Wild was one of them. I mean, like, they're fucking cracking down hard on that stuff. People that are modding Tears of the Kingdom and making it like a fucking super polished game more than it already actually is. And they're cracking down on that stuff too. This is nothing new for Nintendo. Nintendo has always been like super like gung-ho about their properties. Not saying they don't have a right to, but the way that they go about it and the way that they target certain things is definitely detrimental to the communities that it affects. For Pokemon, for example, someone using Pokey in their name and going like, okay, this is me, this is my account. One can say like, oh, well, that's very uncreative. The other thing too is it's very straightforward. People immediately know what your page is and what they're going to get when they actually click on that stuff. So people making videos, people talking about it, people speculating, I think all of that is good. I think that's great. The more people talk about this shit and the more people that get it out there, the absolute better, because then it's going to be harder for people to ignore. If no one talked about this, I mean, Meta could have literally swept in, and whether this was a bot or whether this was a manual claim from somebody where they're just going through and hitting keywords, they're just going down the list of hitting people like that stuff, right? The more people talk about this stuff, the more people have a leg to stand on and actually fight this stuff. People that have their accounts permanently banned or permanently deleted, I don't think that's 100% the case. I think your account can be recovered if there's someone who can get a hold of it, and you can prove you didn't actually violate any of this stuff, which I definitely don't think PokeRadar, PokeDean, or anybody else, I definitely don't think they violated any community guidelines or anything like that. There's people fucking posting leaks of cards weeks early, and they still have their accounts. Look, got nothing against anybody posting leaks, okay? Don't take that the wrong way. But I think in the hierarchy of stuff, people who wait until card sets come out, people who follow the rules Pokemon sets in place, and then fucking people who set like leaks, I think the person who's like posting leaks kind of should be a little bit higher on that list for getting the old cut. That's all I'm just saying. I don't think you should get cut either, but that would at least make a little more sense. Also, they could be cutting down on the people fucking violating street date. That could be something they could be doing too, but, whatever. Whether it's Meta, whether it's Pokemon, I'll say this, though. Meta's not just doing this just because they want a white knight Pokemon either. This came down from Nintendo, and they at least said, hey, make sure, like, our IP is, like, actually being protected on your platform. Make sure Pokemon's not just getting the dick thrown around, and make sure people aren't just plastering it on their asshole. Like, I guarantee Nintendo said something, okay? This did not just come down out of nowhere. Meta's just not like, oh, we care about your IP. No. No, they don't. That's not what it is. Nintendo had something to do with this. Pokemon had something to do with this. So all the people are like, oh, they didn't do that stuff, but it's just Meta being stupid. No, this came down from somebody. This is also not the first time this has happened. People have been getting their accounts kind of randomly here and there. It's affected a larger amount of people. And this is the first time it's actually affected some of our bigger creators for just keywords such as Poke or Pokemon, which is 100% being targeted. I recommend you go check out Pokegar's video and just keep your ear to the ground. Keep talking to Meta. Keep doing this stuff. Keep rocking it. Instagram is the Pokemon community, okay? That is a big chunk of the Pokemon community, whether people are actually getting news about cards, whether people are talking about card sales, whether people are actually going through and just finding new friends, finding new people, finding content. That is the Pokemon community, and stomping around doing this kind of stuff is going to put a nick on it. Obviously, people are going to find ways around it. I don't think everybody's going to leave. You do you. I'm not telling you to change your name. I'm not telling you to do that stuff. I think it might be a solid idea just to be safe. I'm just saying. It's up to you. Anybody who's putting out a video, whether you disagree with me or not about this stuff, or whether you think like this is overblown hype or anything like that, I mean, you can say what you want, but some of our big content creators have been hit by it, and it's definitely 100% because they had Pokey or Pokemon in their name. So, like, that's not debatable. You can keep that shit out of your mouth right now. That's 100% what's happening. Whether it's the Metabot or whatever the hell it's doing, it's Metabots fucking fusing together. Remember that show? Metabots? Whether it's them or not, who fucking knows? Anyway, keep your ear to the ground. Keep this stuff up. What a time. I'll keep you in the know for updates. I didn't know a video I made like 3 days ago would turn into this kind of fiasco. That's for sure. Shout out to PokeRev. I appreciate you, by the way, I saw what you said about me in the video. I do appreciate that, man. I 100% do. Just trying to get the word out. That's all I got. Appreciate it. Keep fighting the good fight, guys.